Well, coming into earnings season, there was a lot of focus on big tech and the big tech companies that have bet very aggressively on AI. And one company that has really stood out in that category is Microsoft. Of course, the company has been very aggressive in trying to implement AI into its suite of products. They have that very important relationship with ChatGPT's parent, OpenAI. Their quarterly results reflect some of those big moves into the AI equation. Fred Havemeyer is head of U.S. AI software research at Macquarie, and he joins us now. Thanks for joining us. Did Microsoft deliver on what people were hoping to see, in your opinion?
Thank you very much. I think that Microsoft actually over-delivered in cases here. This is a massive company, many moving parts, and it's like covering multiple Fortune 500 companies just within one single organization. And so when we look within this and see, for example, that Azure last night came in with about like 31% year-over-year growth in this large cloud business, with 7 points of growth contribution coming from tailwinds in Azure AI services, which is driven by this overall generative AI tailwind that's being generated in this industry. We think that they actually really did deliver. And if anything, we think that overall capacity constraints, that is to say, just the overall constraints on GPU availability within Azure as Microsoft balances monetizing GPUs through Azure with its own internal needs for copilots and the like, we think that these capacity constraints overall mean that the numbers probably could have been higher if Microsoft would have been able to further monetize. But of course, if you're capacity constrained, your revenue contribution from AI is necessarily going to be limited by how much you can serve given what you presently have. So overall, I think that we're seeing signs that AI demand is tracking quite nicely here. And I think that we're seeing signs that really reinforce our view that going into the end of 2024 and into 2025, this demand will continue turning on and enterprise adoption will continue to scale for AI.
So, Fred, I just want to park for a second and talk a little bit about in and around what you were getting into there. So, I guess in the simplest language, Microsoft has been able to deploy generative AI into its cloud products. You talked about Azure, which sort of gets us into the cloud part of the business. I assume they can charge additional fees if they're putting more exciting tech into existing products. And so that creates the opportunity to generate more revenue. You mentioned copilots. We've been hearing a lot of references to copilots. Could you explain what you're talking about when you say that?
Absolutely. So nowadays, many businesses that are developing AI applications, that is to say, apps that are infused with generative AI capabilities, are calling them copilots. And they're similar to assistants that help users as they work. So Microsoft has a number of copilots, but most prominently, there's Microsoft 365 Copilot, which helps users that are working within the Microsoft Office suite of apps and within just the overall Microsoft ecosystem on Windows. And they also have GitHub Copilot, which helps programmers write code and assists them and automates coding tasks. And what Microsoft does is it monetizes these as an additional subscription service that customers are purchasing over the top of their base Windows, Office, and so forth subscriptions. So they're directly monetizing this as a new application and as a new subscription service for copilots. And then, as you said, also within Azure, they have all of these cloud services so that if you want to purchase on a usage basis, for example, the infrastructure that would be used to run your own custom AI workloads, you can do that through Azure, and they're monetizing that directly as well by selling the infrastructure that's used to power these AI workloads.
Very helpful context, Fred. Now, there's another part of the Microsoft story, which is that they have Bing, they do have a search business. I think because people saw the partnership with OpenAI, they saw incorporating some of that technology into Bing search. There was very much this story of, how Microsoft's going to do versus, Google and traditional Google search. I would say heading into the quarter, you can correct me if I'm wrong, people had lower expectations on just how far Microsoft's been able to go in terms of, let's say, grabbing market share with Bing. Were there any takeaways on that part of the business from the quarter?
I think that we're overall looking at Microsoft as a software business primarily, and while Bing is a material business within the Microsoft portfolio, we think that most of the AI monetization is really happening on that enterprise side of the business. So when we're looking at this, we're really hyper-focused on what Azure AI Services is doing in any given quarter in 2024 to show us how overall enterprise uptake and demand for AI is tracking. And then over time, as enterprises become more comfortable with AI copilots and with just overall generative AI as a technology to bring into the workplace, we think that when that, as that adoption curve ramps, that we'll begin to see more monetization of Microsoft 365 Copilot and others.
Okay. Against all of that, what is your view on investing in Microsoft, which certainly has been a pretty hot stock?
So we're very bullish on Microsoft. We are outperform rated. We raised our target price yesterday to $460 per share. We think that Microsoft of large tech is the best generative AI play in the marketplace, between partnership with OpenAI, between Azure AI Services and Microsoft's growing portfolio of copilots. And also additionally, we think that Microsoft's strategy of diversifying some of its AI relationships with, for example, the partnership with Mistral, with developing its own generative AI models, we think that Microsoft is a very well diversified play on the overall generative AI trend, both for direct monetization of infrastructure and software, and as part of the overall ecosystem play of Azure as a platform for businesses that are modernizing and shifting their infrastructure to the cloud to take advantage of everything that cloud software has to offer and that generative AI can offer in the years to come.
All right. Great.